Sorry?
Is there any etching or writing on these statues?
So it's really hard to tell, but you can make out that there was at some point some etchings. It seems that for however long these statues have been here in the light of Pelor, the stone has been weathered by the sheer power of the icon. And you can't help but think to yourself, it's really inefficient.
Yeah.
And then you think to yourself, well, what about on the dark side? And as you come around to the other side, it's actually got a little bit of script there in Abyssal. Can you read Abyssal? I've actually... Okay, fair enough. So, that said... Terrific.
Anyone else want to do something?
You know that's a bad sign. You're gonna have
I'm
to
still in the
destroy all
tunnel,
of this.
so I assume
Okay,
it's
that
okay
was
to go
Abyssal.
hide behind one of these
It's
statues.
gotta happen, yeah.
Okay,
So, yeah.
sounds
You
good to
don't
me.
know that. I'm not
You
telling
rush ahead,
I mean, you should be doing that.
running out the doorway, and pick one.
This one.
That one. All right. You
This
run
is
into
not
the shadow
evil,
of,
is it?
Yes.
hiding down behind
100%
before.
evil.
You're just like. You remember?
Language of demons.
You remember
What is
fucking
that demonic?
Vin Diesel
Yeah.
movie Riddick? Not Riddick. The one before it.
Pitch Black?
The,
Pitch Black.
What, no, not the one between Pitch Black and.
Oh,
that
Riddick.
one.
That one, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he goes to Furia, if you remember, and it's just this red, fierce surface of fire that is billowing and blasting by, and for the brief moment as you're running through this, it's just one side of you is completely lit and starting to smolder, and the other is completely dark, and you just have this long shadow and you're running furiously, already sweating the moment you hit the sun, and you manage to make it down to the other side in one turn with a double move, hence no damage. Simple as that.
Okay.
That said, Ivor doing anything? You shifted your thing, you're watching these guys do their thing. Vane has done his thing, he's marched proudly out. Thoracics, what's up?
Just walking up with. Well, I say to you, like, perhaps we should destroy this life that is snuffing out Pelor's light.
Where's it coming from?
Well, I say we start moving over to investigate.
So the executary is an AI? Question mark?
Yes.
Dude, awesome.
Oh, no, hang on.
Perhaps we should burn it.
Are you coming out
You
in
bored
the
as
tunnel?
shit.
I'm staying here with the NPCs. Remember all the Ogmites we brought along? Yeah?
Yeah, well, they can.
They can what, burn in Pelor's light? Yeah.
No, I'm not asking them to come. They can chill in the tunnel.
And who's gonna protect them?
My
So-
They can't protect
my
themselves,
scout
they don't
with
deserve to be
dual
here.
wands.
Who's
Your
looking for a
guy.
solution here? You're in a city of ruins.
Everyone but me.
So don't you have like level 15 guys in your group?
Why is Abyssal on the statues of Pelor?
So, you can make a religion check real quick on this, actually.
I thought Abyssal was like the god language, but it's
It is a
not.
god language.
No.
it's demons.
Yeah, well, point being.
Opposite of
It's
God.
totally not gods. I think 18.
All right. With an 18, you remember something about these particular statues that you see, these ancient armored figures, represent an order of Pelorites who historically hunted down those who would darken and bastardize the light of Pelor for their own purpose. And the sign of an icon as such being pitched with inscriptions of an abyssal nature would certainly lend to the idea these statues were meant to purify this area.
So these guys would hate Vane.
Okay. What are you talking about?
Bastardize Pelor worship for their own ends.
Good for the air. What am I going after? Hang on.
I've been touched by Pelor.
Oh, no, you need to talk to somebody about that. Maybe an adult.
He'll touch you too.
I'm sure he will. I'm pretty easy. Yeah. Maybe like a toy or something. I'll be good. Taylor's like, looks like thoracics. You ever seen a grown man naked? No.
Okay, I'm gonna walk to what else? Just this is empty.
It is
Nothing
okay.
else?
So yeah, thank you. Back to this description. Looking left and right, you can see easily the bright washed surface of a chamber that has gone through much mutation over the years. Looking ahead, you can see remnants of buildings that were torn apart. You can see large pieces of wood that were once the entire sides of buildings that were just ripped apart for whatever reason and are left almost completely intact, sitting there amidst other rubble that has come from nowhere. Stalactites from the ceiling sit embedded in the ground. Several of these statues adorn other areas and they've been completely smashed. Pillars as such, those ones fallen over, otherwise broken in half. The place has been disheveled over the years, and only one tunnel sits at the far end, and over to your right, there you see it.
Does this look like a place for worship, for sacrifice, for devotion? Like
You've
what?
never actually seen anything like this and would never believe that anything like this could possibly exist. As you stand here basking in the absolute power that is this conduit to your god's very seeming soul, you can't help but wonder yourself, why am I seeing such a thing?
Check out these guys.
As you move towards, you feel an intense form of power, a dark form of power.
This better
You
not
can't
be the part
help.
where you tempt me, Julie. Don't do it.
Merkel comes out and he's like, "What's up, brother? Been a long time!" And he gives you a bag of Cheetos and says, "Let's go party."
Because I'll fucking do it.
I will ditch this bitch and I will find a new father.
I ditch my god in every campaign. This is no different.
Are you religious in real life, Curtis? Yeah, I'm Jewish and Christian and Buddhist and
I am whatever you want me to be.
Oh man, what was that movie with? It doesn't matter. Anyway, sorry. You were gonna say?
Are you thinking about the mummy?
No, I was thinking there was a movie, The Great Mr. Ripley. Mr. Ripley, the talented Mr. Ripley. You remember that? I'll be whatever you want me to be, type of thing. Anyway, whatever. Moving along. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? You've hidden behind that statue right there. You're standing out on. This
I'm with
platform
them,
is
I'm
like
with
the only remaining piece of ground that is still intact. Otherwise, this ground has been completely disheveled. It is made up of broken tile. A lot of it has just been pulverized. You actually comically see the end of a table sticking out from behind what seems to be the latter half of a room that has otherwise been chiseled away, cleaved off from existence by passing tectonic shifts.
I question our engineers on how long it would take for them to drill a bypass if worse came to worse.
He looks at you and says, "Depends on how far away we are. We could probably move. If we could move in this material."
Let's say 600 feet.
Well, he's thinking to himself, he's like, per day, 600, 500. Variable, really. But yeah, approximately.
So one day.
I have a question. I didn't look this up, or I don't think it was on the booklet. How much can a tensor's floating disc carry?
1,000 pounds.
How much does the drill weigh?
988.
1,001.
Ooh.
No, I'm kidding, but the drill,
I would say 8,000 pounds. Over. From what you described.
the ever shrinking,
Takes like up
the
half
ever
the
shrinking
way.
drill.
Yeah.
It's way over 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Way over 1,000 pounds, never mind. Figure we could like
Need me to make some
levitate
tracks
the
for
drill.
that?
Oh, do you wanna? Do you wanna make something for it? Leave a little something behind.
I can make tracks right with the block at a time.
So, gentlemen,
What do we do? We're like stuck. I could use Tension Floating Disc to send, forgot his name already. The priest. That's it. Out in
Yeah.
front of me.
To do what?
Send you to the next passageway, see if there's a light down there or something.
Still have to get the drill through here.
Yeah.
The drill's not the problem, it's all the people who can't make it through.
Yeah.
I tell you, we need to stop these vines. Burn them. They're around the...
What are these bodies? What race are they?
so looking at the bodies there, you can see that they are all sorts that have been mishmashed together, molten more or less dried out, save for their under points that are still bubbling against the ground, where a bit of water seems to seep every so often. So from what you can see, there's cracks in the floor that are causing a bit of fluid, you would imagine hot springs, to jet upwards a bit,
Good point.
causing moisture to rise up against the corpses that are causing them to constantly kind of boil and bubble where they sit. It is a most disgusting and heinously stench-ridden scene. When I say the smell of death reigns here, it's just insane. It's cooked people. Steam-cooked people.
But they've been placed there.
They've died there for whatever reason. From what you can see, just melted into place
And if you-
over however long that they've been there.
If we still smell them, then it hasn't been that long.
No, true. But if they're constantly kept moist, well, I guess actually over time, never mind. I was just going for disgust, but would they have any stench?
Not really.
Maybe
Unless they were in ever death state.
No, never mind actually. So there is no stench. They've just been there for however long, bubbling and burning away.
What race are they?
All sorts. Elves, humans, a couple gnomes.
Do they have anything to differentiate what?
At this
Are
point,
like
about the only thing...
Paleoites? Are they nobles?
Sorry, actually.
Engineers?
If you're taking
Yeah.
a closer look here.
Yep.
So you get closer there, taking a look down into the pile of gore, and seeing what there is to see. As you get closer, something that catches your eye is a radiant light some distance up ahead, where a pedestal sits against the base of the icon of Palor. And looking upon it, you recognize another casing similar to the one that you saw previously.
Another what?
It is another brain in a jar.
I am with.
Now, as you stare
I've
ahead...
been walking up with.
Okay.
Taylor Breeze. Oh, I'm with him.
Okay. What's up, please?
I'm ahead of him.
Ivor, doing anything?
No.
You're sitting with your people? Okay,
Yes.
good. You are sitting there,
Just
looking
in
out
case something
ahead.
happens.
So where do you want to be?
No, I'll just chill right there. I'm not gonna move or anything
Cool.
because I'll get roasted alive.
Is your cleric Halo?
Clark's not here.
So looking ahead, like I said,
Oh, you brought the
you can
other
see
guy.
the scintillating light emitting from where the pedestal resides next to the icon of Palor. And upon that pedestal sits another brain in a jar, much similar in design and shape and what as the previous one.
Okay, I wasn't here when you guys found that other brain, so I don't know the backstory.
is bad news.
Now, you also note that the pedestals, such to the sides of the icon, are prayer pillars. They are personal conduits that can be utilized by individuals like yourself.
Where's the shadowy vines coming from?
So they seem to be writhing up. Actually, you know what?
The vines are made of shadows.
They're just dark against the. They're dark against the.
Do they look like like?
Oh, wow,
that worked really good.
That worked amazingly.
Like, do they look like I could chop into it?
Did they look like what we saw in the sewer?
No, they look more organic, more or sorry, I
Yeah,
shouldn't say
organic is
more
what I meant. That's what I meant.
They're more natural
That is
rather
organic.
than unnatural.
Yeah.
The ones in the sewer were disgusting, horrible, heinous hives of horror.
Hey, that's Dorian's home. Don't.
You mean Dorian's grave?
His vacation spot?
Both.
You guys are all vicious.
They're just terrible. I know.
He's the monster.
Not me. I thought he was
You're
great.
vicious.
I was alright.
You're vicious.
Oh, whatever.
He's the guy in the
You
sewer
hurt my
that parents tell
feelings.
their kids.
Great as that.
If you don't behave, you're gonna be going to the sewer where the Dorian lives.
Kids start crying at night.
He's the it of our story.
Don't sit on the toilet too long, or the Dorian will get you.
Just climb in the window and try to hug you. That's what he does.
So,
Alright.
okay, so these are trying to
And it
cover
comes
this
up from the
beacon,
ball.
but they can't, and then it just resides, but it just keeps, like, it's pulsing.
Yeah.
Where's it coming from? The ground?
The ground.